All right, and we're live. Well, welcome, Phil. Phil, you're one of the managing partners at Commonwealth Home Ownership, and today we're going to talk a little bit about your background and how you got involved in real estate investing. So, welcome.
Thanks for having me, Brad. Yeah, I just want to get it. I'll give you guys a bit of background. Like I said, I'm one of the three partners of Commonwealth with myself, Brad, and Mackenzie. But, I grew up in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada, and, typical, upbringing, whatever it is. But I went to university. As I was growing up, I saw my dad kind of dabble in other businesses as well. So I kind of had an idea of a sense of entrepreneurship just from him. And then in his 50s, he kind of got into real estate, investing with a couple of his friends. So they were a triumvirate themselves, and between the three of them, they accumulated 50 plus doors, and he was able to retire by the time he was 60. So kind of gave me an idea what the power of real estate was and the potential of it. But then I kind of went to school. I didn't really understand just how good it was at the time. I was still young, kind of naive, didn't really know much about the world. So I went to school, university, the typical Asian path, and became a pharmacist. And I was working in Edmonton at the time, and a really good deal came up on a house here in Edmonton. My dad, convinced me to put some money in and buy this house. So I was like, okay. And it was a new build, so it was going to take a year to finish. But during that time, I got a job opportunity in Banff and Canmore, where I was to manage a pharmacy. So I moved down there thinking, I'll move back in a year, live in the house that I'm building. A year went by, house finished. I wasn't ready to move back. Right? But at the same time, I wasn't ready to rent it out either, because I spent a lot of time and effort building this house. So I was paying rent and I was paying mortgage at the same time for several months before I realized it was completely unsustainable, and I was just going broke and eating pasta from cans. So I decided to rent it out. Took my dad's advice, just rent it out and bit the bullet. And lo and behold, I was making $400 a month on my rent, with good tenants to boot. So I was like, holy shit, this is amazing. So based on from that alone, that kind of gave me an idea. It kind of gave me a sense of like what the potential real estate, from my own perspective. And then I read Rich Dad Poor Dad. Kind of gave me a bit of a, planted a seed. The thing that really did it for me, though, there's two books that kind of really got me going. One was 4-Hour Workweek, and one was the E-Myth. And those two kind of talked about creating a system and creating a life where you can kind of step outside the system and have that system generate wealth for you as you live the life you want. And the nice thing about real estate, it has everything, all the systems are already there. You don't have to reinvent the wheel. You have your property manager that can manage the property. You have your bookkeeping that can take care of some of the finances, your accountant, your lawyers. So the system's already there. It's already available for you to utilize. And you just have to kind of build up big enough portfolio to make it cost effective to utilize that system. And then you can kind of, not abdicate, but at least delegate all those tasks to your team of professionals, and you can just kind of live the life you want. So then that's what I'm hoping to do with real estate. And we've moved along, we've come a ways. And then I met, and then through some masterminds and networking, I met Brad and Mackenzie, and we saw that we were all moving in the same direction. And we found out that we had built the exact same website, weeks and months of our time just doing the same thing. They looked almost exactly the same. So it was like, why the hell are we wasting all our effort doing the same thing if we're all moving in the same direction? And we were all around the same age. So, we were trying to get to the goals around the same time. We don't have a huge age gap where one person needs to retire sooner than the other. So I was like, why don't we just join forces and move in the same direction 3 times faster?
Yeah, and we all have very complementary skill sets as well to help diversify and delineate task work within the business, which is fantastic. Phil, I just want to ask you a question, just in relation to purchasing that first property and renting that property out. So I think that one of the biggest things that delineates an investor from just a regular consumer or somebody purchasing a house is that emotional connection to the property. Typically, an investor will have more of an emotional connection to the numbers or the analysis of that potential investment property. Was that really the turning point for you when you started to see the numbers on potential or actual cash flow that property was producing when you rented it out?
Well, I mean, the emotional aspect took me a while to disconnect from. Like as I said, I didn't want to rent it out because I was still emotionally attached to this house that I put a lot of time into, right? And it wasn't until like maybe the second or third property before I realized that was a bit of a detriment to my investing career if I was going to be emotionally attached to all my properties. But it was hard. It was hard to get over it first. But seeing the numbers, that definitely showed me the potential of real estate investing. But it didn't. But I wasn't emotionally attached. I was still emotionally attached to the physical house itself at the time, and it took me a while to kind of get over that. So, like I said, but it just takes practice, and as time went on, and you learn to focus more on the numbers and less on the property. So, and now buying a house is just it's just a transaction. Like there's no emotion anymore, which is nice. But it's kind of still kind of bad because with my girlfriend, she wants a nice house, and I don't realize, like, I don't know, does it cash flow if you were to rent it?
So you're going from one end of the spectrum to the complete opposite, is analyzing absolutely everything. So
Yeah, so
that's fantastic.
good and bad.
Okay, so tell us a little bit about, you've gone through that transition, that emotional transition from purchasing property because you have a bit of a connection with it to the analysis of a property. Tell us a little bit about your why and why real estate now that you've kind of you've got that clarity and direction now with property.
Well, I mean, to me, it's a few things. I mean, the main goal is to be able to generate a passive source of income, right? You can do that through various means. You can do that through stocks. You can do that through real estate. You can do that through a number of other investments. But I chose real estate for a couple of things. A, it's a relatively stable investment. So fluctuations aren't massive, and B, you get a lot of control in this particular investment. Unlike stocks, where you buy a company, you research a company, you buy the stock, hoping that the managers of that company will do well. Here, you are the manager of that company. You are the manager. You control everything related to that real estate. So things don't go well, you can take steps to remedy that, which is nice. And in a minute, it's a bit more work, but comes with the territory. And C, for me, it's something that my family's kind of, like I said, my dad's done it in the past, and the family has experience in. So it's nice to be able to do something where I can get a little bit of guidance as well from my dad and other family members who have done it. So between those factors, that's kind of why I chose real estate. And like I said, system's already there for us to step away if we really wanted to.
Yeah, so it's a little bit of a natural progression for you, just based on your father doing real estate, and you've been around it a little bit.
Mm-hmm. So it's not completely foreign to me, and it's it's something that I've gotten more comfortable with, or like, at least I've seen the process, I've seen it done. So and I've seen the results, the positive results of it. So I know that it's something that does work. I just have to work at it.
Yeah, absolutely. So where has that taken you? So you've now become a managing partner at Commonwealth Home Ownership, and what's your vision here moving forward for not only Commonwealth but for yourself, and your real estate investing world?
I mean, now that I've achieved some a modicum of success in a little bit in terms of real estate, I really want to kind of start giving back to people who never had the opportunity to, invest. I mean, the problem I feel with the school system in Canada and a lot of parts of the world is they don't teach us very much about investing in finance and money management, all that stuff that anything related to money, they don't touch, which is a problem because it's a big part of their lives when you start working. And so I really want to be able to coach people and kind of give back to the community, give back to those individuals who have that, who are looking for more. They just don't know how to find it, don't know how to get there. and I'm hoping to be able to guide them in that direction to achieve their version of financial success, whatever they're looking for, through real estate, through personal finance. So that being said, working with you guys, it's nice to be able to kind of delineate my role a little bit away from just searching for JVs and kind of focus a lot more on the education aspect, which is why my vision is to create this website where all the education materials can be, are on one place, where new investors or old investors are just looking for people to connect with, education materials, tools that they can use to help them progress their investing career.
That's fantastic. And when do you think that'll be online and available for people?
We're just putting the final touches on the website, so I would say by the end of the summer should be ready. So,
okay. Okay. Fantastic. All right. Well, I think one last question I'd really like to ask you is, tell us something that people may not know about Philip Wong.
I am a sucker for suffering. I'm a sucker for punishment.
A glutton for punishment. Okay.
I really, I do. So I've done triathlons, I've done marathons, I've done. I'm a bit of an adrenaline junkie as well. Skydiving, scuba diving. I love being in the mountains, and yeah, I just love pushing my body to see how far I can go, and that's just, and I kind of I try to translate that drive into real estate as well, to kind of build that drive, that passion. I just like to channel in every area of my life, and real estate's one of them. So it's just I just love being active and giving all I got.
Yeah, I think it speaks volumes, Phil, in your day-to-day commitment to anything that you do. I think it's very clear and obvious to the people around you that you're 100% committed all of the time. And I think, with that comes the results, the natural organic results that you're seeing, that we're seeing as a team. And what would be a piece of advice that you might give to a new investor, someone just starting out?
Don't give up. Do not quit. It's gonna suck at the beginning. It's gonna suck, man. Like it's nothing good comes without effort. So so you just have to kind of suck it up and make it through. And if you keep at it, you will get to where you need to go. It's just a matter of grinding it out.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's great advice. And the one thing I would add to that is surround yourself with like-minded people, with positive, like-minded action takers.
Mm-hmm. That helps a lot. That helps you. I mean, you can grind it out, but it's nice to have people kind of pulling you along the way rather than pulling you back, and it just makes that grind a little bit easier.
Yeah, no, absolutely, and that's a very good point.
Mm-hmm.
Well, thanks very much, Phil, for taking the time to tell us a little bit about yourself and what you're working on.
Thank you.